Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Honda Center here in Anaheim. Rob Hernandez, along with Bruce Pascoe of the Arizona Daily Star, Jim Polzin of the Wisconsin State Journal, the two beat writers covering the Wildcats and the Badgers. And Bruce, let's talk keys to the game. And from the Arizona Wildcats perspective, the big ball game, chance to go to the Final Four. What do you see as the key to the game for Arizona tomorrow in the Elite Eight game?
Well, I'm assuming that Wisconsin's going to take care of the ball because they've been, and that's what Arizona has been so good at taking advantage of that. So I would think in that case, I'd go with rebounding. I think it's really big for Arizona to rebound well because they need them for second shots because they're a little bit inconsistent shooting team, and defensively they fuel their break with it, and that's when they're really at their best in transition. So I think if they can do well on the boards, and they have had a little trouble there lately, that's a big key for them.
Jim Polzin, the Badgers have seen a lot of things here during the tournament trail, but not sure they've seen anything like Arizona. What will be the key for the Badgers tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, Wisconsin's offense has been really consistently good all season, but I'm not sure they've seen a defense that's this good. In fact, their players and coaches basically said that today. This will be the best defense they've faced. So, they need to continue to be patient. I think the strength of this team is its patience, its ability to share the ball. Then they need to take advantage. They're probably not going to get a ton of open looks in tomorrow's game. When they do, they need to knock them down. It's again, basketball is pretty simple in some ways, and when they have open looks, they need to take advantage.
For the benefit of our readers in Arizona, anybody in the Big Ten that might remind you of the Wildcats and someone that the Badgers might have struggled against in a matchup like this?
Well, the one comparison I tried to go after today is this Arizona's pack line defense makes people think of Virginia because of the Bennetts, and Wisconsin did struggle that night. Even though they won at Virginia in that game, they struggled. Their shooting percentage was not good. So I think Arizona does something a little different. They get out at you a little bit. Virginia backs up and kind of packs it in even more. Arizona will get out on you, and so that's something a little different. And Michigan State, I think, is a similar type of defense too, and Wisconsin has struggled with them at times on that end of the court. So it's going to be a challenge, absolutely. Like I said, I really think this will be the best defense Wisconsin's faced.
Now it's a privilege to stand here with these guys because they've seen all the games of these two teams here throughout the season. And our next question deals with who will be perhaps the key player for each side. And Bruce, let's go to you. It could be a guy that has shined all season, or it could be someone in this matchup that might have the opportunity to kind of showcase himself here on the Honda Center floor. Anyone stand out as potentially being a difference maker tomorrow for Arizona?
Well, I think Nick Johnson's the obvious guy. He's so good in the clutch with him, and he's their best defender, so he's going to go after their threes. But I also think that really kind of an X-factor guy is T.J. McConnell, the point guard, who's a pretty darn good defender as well. And they're going to need more than just Nick against that team, obviously, to do well, guarding well defensively. And then T.J., when this team has struggled, it's been sometimes a function of him struggling because he's sort of an extra option shooting-wise that will get the open looks, and they need to make sure he can hit them.
Well, when you talk about Nick, I think everyone here was wowed Thursday night against San Diego State with what he did at the end of that game. Is that atypical, struggling like that for so long, but probably fairly typical that he's able to be a difference in the end?
Yeah, no, that he is actually. We've actually calculated his shooting numbers and free throw numbers in the last 3 minutes or 4 minutes of a close game were much higher than they are regularly. He's just a clutch player all the way around. Not necessarily consistent knockdown shooter, but when it matters, he hits it. And you saw last night where he got some confidence going with a layup, and then after that he was on fire, and that's the way he's been. He has been up and down though. He was 1 for 14 when they lost at Cal, and everybody says that's the game when Brandon Ashley went down. That's true, but it's also the game when they would have won if Nick Johnson hit 1 or 2 more baskets.
Jim Polzin for the Badgers. Anybody that stands out as needing to come to play? Kaminsky's had a huge run in the postseason. Is it the big guy, or is it somebody else that's really got to step up here against the Wildcats?
Well, I think it'd be pretty obvious to say Kaminsky because they're going to pound the ball into him early and try to get something going inside. But I'm going to say Trey Jackson, and because of what Bruce was talking about with McConnell, I think McConnell is such a great point guard, and you look at his assist-to-turnover ratio; it's unreal. And it's almost Jordan Taylor-like from UW a couple years ago. So I think Trey needs to play a good floor game. He's been a very good leader and made good decisions down the stretch run of the season. He needs to continue to do that tomorrow. They need good point guard play, so they can kind of counteract this defense that they're going to see. I mean, they can't turn the ball over. They got to get the ball in the right spots, and Trey Jackson has a lot to do with that. So he needs to be under control, pass first point guard, and when he's like that, they're at their best.
There you have it. The keys to the game for the Elite Eight matchup between the Badgers of Wisconsin and the Arizona Wildcats. For Bruce Pascoe and Jim Polzin, I'm Rob Hernandez. No matter who you're rooting for tomorrow, we hope you enjoy the Elite Eight, and thanks for joining us.